Okay, so we can just gently begin usual warm-up exercises. We'll just do short warm-up and then do our sitting meditation for today. So from the core of the body, really deep down inside, finding our center. Feet are in a nice shoulder width posture, knees are gently bent, arms hang down by the sides. We're going to slowly turn just to check the back out and see how it feels. And back to the other side. Not rushing into the exercise, just going bit by bit to slowly waken the spine up and then head off into the full exercise. I had an interesting connection yesterday with a lady who was talking about the Medicine's Hospital, Dr. Pang's famous hospital, and was saying, we had a conversation about the differences between a Western mind and an Eastern mind, or certainly it came up from the conversation. I found it very interesting that when we go to China, that very often there are kind of charismatic teachers who guide people's minds very strongly, and that's a very powerful healing tool in China. The more powerful your mind is, the more able you are to sort of guide other people, and I'm not quite saying force other people into healing themselves or corral other people into healing themselves, but there's some sort of element of that, because the Eastern mentality is very much one that I suppose is used to being directed by bodies above them, government and kings and emperors and things like that. And I think that I don't want to say that Chinese people are subservient, but there is some sort of aspect of that where Chinese people take orders much better than Western people. And somehow that extends itself into how to heal oneself. It's almost like, a teacher, Dr. Pang, saying, heal yourself now. And the people sort of saying, okay, I will do, and managing to do it. And so that mindset is very Chinese. And it's, I really don't want to be upsetting any Chinese people or being nasty to any races, but it's just a kind of like a fact of life. And when we come to the West, people tend to, if you would say to someone, right, heal yourself now, people would say to you, why, or how, or how does that work? And so we're trained to have much more analytical minds. I don't say that there are not a lot of incredibly analytical people in China as well, but everybody is taught from birth to question, to constantly be asking questions. It's always a joke about children. When you say something and children say to you, why? And then you don't have a good answer. Just because daddy says so is the usual kind of answer to that. But the nature of Western sort of education brings us to ask these questions more frequently. And so when the suggestion is that you must heal yourself, the next question is, well, why? Why would that work? Why should it work? How would I do that? And the analytical process of that gets in the way of us actually being able to heal ourselves. And so for me, the justification for my existence has been that I've been really sort of interested in the idea of quantum physics, and hence the name of my website, Quantum Qigong. Because for me, it's about looking at how do these mechanisms work? Because if I can convince you that the mechanisms work on both an Eastern, which is very easy to do because there's so many kind of people healing themselves in the East, and a Western basis, then I can break through that mind block that we have, because you can think to yourself, okay, well, apparently there's some scientific background to this, which makes absolute sense from a Western science perspective. There also appears to be an Eastern background to it as well. And so that sort of settles your mind down. It sort of settles the ego down. The ego no longer wants to fight. The ego is prepared to follow the man in the white coat, as we're so trained to do in the West. Might help if I was wearing a white coat and a stethoscope, I suppose. So yeah, the idea there is to look at the science side of it and to convince that there is a scientific basis for what is done. Whereas in the East, people don't need convincing at all. They just say, sure, if you say that, then that's it. And that's because Qi is so deeply embedded into the West, into the Eastern lifestyle. Qi is in everything. If you look at the word for petrol or look at the word for bus, it's got the character Qi in it, because Qi makes everything go. And so that's such a natural part of Chinese life. So from our perspective, last week I was talking about quantum theory and Max Planck and so forth. And I think that's true. I think that's right. I think that's exactly how we have to look at it. The reason that we've stayed where we are for such a long time has been Einstein's theories that have held us in a kind of a very physical world. And sure, that's how that physical world works. He's got that spot on. And then there's been this other branch of physics where people have looked a bit askance and thought, what on earth is this all about? And but it does seem to have some relevance at a micro level. But now we're starting to see that we are essentially quantum computers, and that our brains work like quantum computers, that we're actually projecting this world out, and that your world overlaps with my world, not just on a digital basis, but on a much deeper basis, which is what Qi tries to describe. So I have an experience, and I am part of building this experience. And then you have an experience, and you're part of building your own experience. And our two experiences overlap. And that's how our world comes to be how it is, how it remains solid, is because the quantum experience of everybody in the world adds up and networks together to become this vast simulation that we live in. And maths does underpin everything. It's absolutely correct. Maths is the bottom line for all of those things. So with that being said, I think there's a very good foundation for our kind of healing modality of Zheneng Qigong. I genuinely believe that it works with everything that we've said in the Western world for the last 100 years, 150 years. But the question is, how do you then, if you're prepared to accept that there is a reality behind this that works, how do we apply it to ourselves? Well, the thing that gets in the way, let's expand this exercise, go slower, turn a bit longer. The thing that gets in the way of healing is thinking. So we have to come to terms, first of all, that the system that we're following is actually not just a load of old rubbish. Okay, so we can see lots of people in China using this system to heal themselves, lots of people in the West using this system to heal themselves. That was the point of the documentary that I'm trying to film, is to prove to people that there are people out there using this system to heal themselves. The underlying theory behind it exists already and just needs to be sort of drawn together, that what we're using is both a physical world and a sort of quantum world, and then beyond that, consciousness that drives everything. So Dr. Pang basically says that what we need to do to heal ourselves is just return back to our consciousness. And when we return back to our consciousness, then that's the place where we can find, if you like, the original blueprint of what we're supposed to be doing. And that's why this Eng meditation is there, because essentially we use the phrase ENG, Eng, just to try and call our consciousness. In order to heal, what we need to do is to bypass all of the stuff that we're experiencing now, go to the root, and when we arrive at the root, dwell there for a while, because when we're in this pure consciousness state, we're in our perfect state. Everything is kind of working well. Everything is exactly right. And so we start to inhabit that idea more and more. Everything's working well. Everything's fine. We're in this perfect, pure consciousness state. And as we do so, the body then starts to realign itself with that process. So it's a very simple idea. Block out the problems, block out the world, find yourself back at pure consciousness, remain there more and more often. And the more and more often you do that, the more and more often the body will respond and start to heal itself. So therefore, we shall do our Eng meditation again today, and hopefully be able to spend more time relaxed and healing. Okay, let's just finish this little part off. Let the whole thing slow down. Let's gather some chi, lift chi up, pour chi down, gathering, lifting, gently pouring. One more time. Okay, we can do some simple forward and back bends. Lifting up, stretching up. Setting the head and ears tip over. Gently rolling into the upper back, the middle back, the lower back. The body hang down and relax it. Back of the neck soft and relaxed. Body just gently hangs. Knees are soft. Back of the neck is relaxed. Drift down towards the toes. And release. In line with the roots of the toes. Release. Toward the insteps. Release. Back toward the heels. Relax and release. Body hangs. Tailbone lifts up behind, tailbone pushes to the front, spine gently rolls up, head, arms, and ears gently roll up. Slowly come up to full height with a nice long stretch. Drifting knees and hips forward as you lean back. Stretching up, gently back, up, and back, up, and back. Hands up into the blue sky. Left hand curls down, right side of the body gently opens. Right hand curls down, left side of the body opens. Down the left. And down on the right. Draw hands up into the blue sky. Okay, so we begin the halving again. Nice soft knees, gently tip over the head, the arms at ease. Rolling down, relaxing down, settling down. Let the body hang and relax, the back of the neck hang and relax. Tummy's tucked. Extend softly towards the toes, gently going down and release. Towards the roots of the toes and release. Towards the insteps and release. Back towards the heels and release. Let the body hang and relax there. Lift the tailbone up behind. Gently push the tailbone to the front. Start to roll the spine up and open up. Spine gently stretching up into the blue sky. Knees and hips drift forward as you lean back. Up and gently back. Up and back. Up and gently back. Great. Hands up into the blue sky. Let's do the left hand, curling down. Right side of the body gently open. Right hand curling down. Open on the left. Down on the left side. Down on the right side. Stretch hands up into the blue sky. Let's go through again. This time try straight legs. Just gently tipping over the head, the arms, the ears. Rolling into the upper back, middle back, lower back. Keep the legs as straight as possible. Let the body gently hang. Nice and easy, relaxed. Shift the weight softly forward into the toes, just to let the weight shift forward and feel the hamstrings stretch a little bit extra. Okay, so we begin our gentle stretches downwards then. So first of all, head down towards the toes and release in line with the roots of the toes and release. Working towards the insteps and release. Back towards the heels. Release, relax, let the body hang. Okay, so lift the tailbone up behind, push tailbone to the front, let the spine roll up, head, arms, and ears gently roll up, stretching up into the blue sky. Drifting the knees and hips forward as you lean back. Stretch up, gently back, stretch up, back, and up, back, and up. Left side of the body drifts down. Right side of the body gently open. Down on the right side. Allow the left to softly open. On the left. On the right. Good. Hands up into the blue sky. We'll just run through the whole thing one more time. Nice straight legs. Arms and ears tip over. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Legs stay straight. Let the body gently hang. Back of the neck is soft, thumb is tucked. Body hangs. Drift gently towards the toes. And release. Aligned with the roots of the toes. And release. Working towards the insteps. Release. Back toward the heels, nice deep bend. Release and relax. Let the tailbone lift up behind. Gently push the tailbone to the front. Roll the spine up with the head, arms, and ears gathering up. Stretch up into the blue sky. Knees and hips drift forward as you lean back. Stretch up and gently back. Stretch up and gently back. Up and gently back. Great. Hands up into the blue sky. Left hand curls down, right side of the body opens. Right hand down. Open on the left. Down on the left. And down on the right. Hands draw up into the blue sky, stretching up. Hands gently release down, curling down the sides. As the hands move down, the chi gently subsides in the body, settling itself. We can gather again a few times, lifting up, pouring down. Move the chi deep inside. Gathering and pouring. gathering. So this feeling of centeredness that comes about as we do these exercises, we feel ourselves come back to ourselves, come back to our bodies. We locate the chi deep inside the belly and bring ourselves back into the very core of our bodies. Bring the hands back to the body, to the belly now itself. So lift up and pour down, gathering chi to the belly. So we're bringing everything back to the center of ourselves. Bring our bodies back into our bodies. Bring our minds back into our bodies. This is the first process, this kind of embodiment, if you like, of our bodies. So rather than mind roving across the countryside, doing some shopping, visiting friends, mind is here, now, right in the core of you, right in the very center in lower dantian. Bring the mind back. It's a very important idea. So rather than having the mind raging off, doing crazy things, mind is back with the body here in the present moment. So from Dr. Pang's perspective, this is where the healing arrives. Mind in neutral, body relaxed, body open. So what more is required? Ultimately, I suppose the answer is probably nothing. Just being quiet and standing like this is an incredibly effective way to heal one's body, because the body knows how to heal itself naturally. The body understands that process. The body, when it has the sufficient resources, will automatically trip into healing. That can be a slow process. So we can refine our connection to all there is, to the consciousness of the universe. And that's by using the tone eng in this case. There are other ways to do it. There's another tone that we use, which is nun, N-U-N, nun. And perhaps we might try that in coming weeks, see how it differs from eng. The idea is to keep one's mind still, steady, keep one's body relaxed and open and receptive to healing. The more often you do that, the more your healing is going to come about. And so Dr. Pang used to say, when you're tired, sleep. When you're hungry, eat. And otherwise, practice Qigong. And so how can you practice Qigong for 18 hours a day? It's about keeping your mind in this steady state. It's about staying in the present moment. We hear so much about it. What does it feel like? This is it. This is the present moment where your mind is deep inside the belly. Your mind is quiet. It's not thinking about anything. Your body is relaxed. Qi flowing well. So how can you maintain that state? How do you maintain that state in all your interactions with the outside world? Sometimes you can bring yourself back to yourself just with a single breath. And so I have this idea, this visualization of breathing in through my nostrils and imagine all this qi flowing into the center of my brain, illuminating the brain. And then when I breathe out, all the qi flows down from upper dantian into middle dantian, down into the belly, and the mind goes with it. So it's just one gentle breath into the center of the brain. One gentle breath out, down into the belly. I let the whole body settle and relax there. And then I just carry on breathing gently. So at any given moment when we're flying around, when we have a busy day going on, just pause and take a gentle breath in. Settle into the belly. And then come from the belly. operate your day in this gentle, neutral stance. Allow everything to come from this position. Just gently merge with the world around you and allow things to happen. Things that are unpleasant, that you don't like, just pass straight through you. You don't hold on to them. And you gently move from this place, finding the next natural thing for you to do. Not the things that your brain tells you you should do, but rather what you feels right for yourself today. So when you're in a busy state, just take that gentle breath in, draw the mind down, and then do what feels natural. So as we stand here in this neutral posture, we can feel the earth below us and imagine chi flowing up as if you were a tree gathering sap from the earth, moving up from your roots into your body. And gently push the top of the head up into the blue sky. Upper branches of your tree reaching up to the heavens. And you can imagine sunshine from the heavens pouring down on your trees, leaves, and of course that generates photosynthesis, and that starts to feed the tree from above. So trees make a very good image, the idea of energy flowing up from the earth, the idea of energy pouring down from the heavens, and you, the tree, gathering all these resources in. So you can imagine yourself standing there. And even the biggest of trees gently move. So our standing posture is not a rigid standing stance. It has micro adjustments. From time to time, we can just gently adjust the tailbone a tiny bit forward, adjust the chin a tiny bit backward. Of course, the tailbone drops down and the length of the spine, nice and long. Knees softly bent, and we have to sometimes remind ourselves to keep the knees bent. So in this posture here, we're gathering chi from the world. Our body is relaxed. Our mind is quiet. We can scan through our body and see if there's anything we'd like to work with today. It might be something simple, like a sore joint in the body, but it might be something more complex, like the entire nervous system or the vascular system. It might be an organ, whatever it is that feels like it might need your help today. We can send our love, our light, our energy into that system. Imagine bathing the whole system with healing, with unconditional love, returning it back to perfect working order. And then once we've set that intention, we can just gently move our mind back to lower dantian, feeling the whole system has understood what it is that you wish to do today and will do its own thing, whatever way is required to bring about that healing. So we return back to this quiet state, and then we can experience the chi field around us. See how that feels. See how your room feels. See how your town or city or countryside feels around you. Expand yourself out a bit. Expand out over your county, over your country, over your continent. And eventually we can expand to a place where we can actually see our beautiful blue planet below us. Imagine expanding and looking at our solar system, the sun and all the planets. Beyond that, the Milky Way, the galaxies of stars. Beyond that, the vastness of our universe. The vast field of Yi Yuan Ti, this wonderful undifferentiated energy. Bathing in this Yi Yuan Ti that makes everything in our world. When we work at this kind of zoomed out level, You feel that your whole body is just Yi Yuan Ti, and that all is required is to release the things you no longer need from your body, release the problems you no longer need to have, release the old ideas that pinned you in place, and gather in untold energy into your body. At this level, the original blueprint of you. We spent many years adjusting our body, not always in a positive way, always carrying our bag on the wrong shoulder, on one shoulder, always, sitting, watching TV, whatever it is, always looking down at our phones with the neck craned over. It takes a while for your body to recover from habitual habits, but the universe is vast and the amount of energy available to you infinitesimal. So why not let those habits go? Why not let those problems dissolve? Why not gather into your body complete and utter healing? And then we can just allow ourselves to gently start our journey back into our bodies. We think about our universe and then our Milky Way, solar system. Find our beautiful blue planet. Eventually work our way back there. We can pause for a minute to our beautiful blue planet. Perhaps let's send some unconditional healing love back there as well. So just think about somewhere you would like, or someone or something you'd like to bathe with unconditional love today. Send your unconditional healing. And then we gently start to work our way back to find our practice space, back through the continent and countries, and zooming back into our cities, towns, our houses, and bringing ourselves back into our healing space, back into our bodies. So when you come back, it's a new you that you bring back. It's not the same old story. It's fundamentally changed. You have brought back new instructions into your life, new healing instructions. So just feel that. Feel that every cell in your body can have new instructions. The DNA rebuilding itself. The ideas in your body changing. Old ways disappear, new ways develop. Allow this feeling of good health to be in every cell of your body. An abundance of energy, an abundance of healing. Blood and chi flowing well. So now we can take a gentle sitting posture to try our Eng meditation. Always sitting with the back nice and straight. So when we stand, we tuck our tailbone forwards. When we sit, we tuck Ming Men forwards. The small of the back gently pushes towards the front of the body. Nice straight spine. See if I can find my Dr. Pang audio. I can practice along with. It starts off with Dr. Pang speaking and has a small translation which I've added to it. Let me begin that. Interesting, doesn't seem to be here after having planned it so well. Bear with me one moment. So we just sit quietly, mind deep inside. We can use the short version of this. Many times. Okay. Repeat N many times. Song silence. Short tones first, longer tones you get over. So we just keep going with eng quietly. I suppose it's useful for us to just to recap. Why say eng? As you say eng, 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 it brings the focus to the brain, to the center of the mind. Eng, eng, eng. This NG gently vibrates in the core of your mind. Eng, 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 eng. Say eng slowly or quickly. Eng, 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 eng. Feel vibration deep in your brain. Eng, 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 Yin, yin, yin. Perhaps a little slower. Yin, 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 yin. Go a little bit quieter. Yin, 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 yin. Quiet, total silence. Just say ing inside. Sit in complete silence for a moment and be in the center of your brain in total consciousness. Allow this fundamental consciousness to be in every cell of your body. Allow your true self to bathe your entire body and your entire life. as if it were a ray of sunshine breaking through the clouds to fill your entire life with chi, to fill your entire life with good information. Feel your whole body filled with good information, good healing information. You don't have to stick to the old ways. Allow the new way of being to come through. Allow the Zheneng Qigong healing to take place in your body. No need to hold on to the past. So in this total healing state, total healing consciousness, we can feel our bodies receiving this information. And then we want to hold all this chi information deep inside the body. So we can just gather our hands back to the belly, draw the hands back and hold them on the belly. The very center of you, the very core of you. Feel that you can hold this state inside your body. Remember how it feels. Return here often. This feeling of sunshine in the body, deep healing in the body. Everything working well. All functions of your body, perfect working order. Just think about that. All functions of your body, perfect working order. Believe that it can happen. Know that you are able to shift anything in your life. Sometimes, just in a moment, it happens. Other times, it takes a bit longer, but you're taking a step forward every time you do this. Every time you bring yourself to this healing stage, your body moves forward. Give your body the chance to heal every day. Let's just draw some gentle circles around the belly button. 3 circles can go around anti-clockwise. Just brings everything back into the core of the body, centers you on yourself. And then 3 go clockwise. And that just brings you back into daily mode, brings you back into your physicality, back into your body, ready for the day ahead. As we sit here, we can feel our chi bodies. Feel your chi body, and around it, your wei chi layer, protective layer of chi. Around that, the whole chi body, a meter in front, behind, up, above, below, left, right. This beautiful bubble of chi protecting us. So you, a being of light, inside your shields of energy, safe, happy, well, all functions of your body returning to perfect working order. All functions of your body normal. All functions of your body normal. You can slowly open the eyes, put a big smile on your face, let your hands relax,